Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whatever time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Online Toastmasters Club. Our club mission: we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leaders Worldwide is designed for politicians, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, as well as anyone who wants to make their message heartfelt and authentic. Core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. We are Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters, where leaders are made. And let's introduce our president, Rosemary Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, and thank you everyone for coming, taking time out of your busy schedule to be here, because everyone is on a mission, and that is so, I am so appreciative of being in your company and knowing that everyone is there trying to get something done and doing something. Today as last time, we have just the 6 of us here, and our meeting, though it should continue, I will leave it to everyone else to say whether we should continue a regular meeting or just have the nomination portion and the changeover of our discussion of that meeting. Well, Marie says she will go with whatever we have, what we agree with, as she said that, stated that earlier. So I will call on Carrie. Should we go ahead with a regular meeting or just our nomination portion? Cassandra.
Oops. Are you asking me?
Yes, I thought you were not close.
Oh, we can. I don't have a preference. But if I need to make a decision, I would like to do the nominating thing first. Because that's kind of important. Period.
Okay then. Cassandra, you?
We can do both. That sounds great, because there may be someone that come in later on.
Okay, so we'll do the Tala. Your preference would be?
I'll go with whatever the majority decides, but I would certainly prefer to have the nomination portion first.
Okay, so we will have the nomination go through first. Well, Toastmaster Marie says she's on her phone and she is doing something very important. So we would need a Toastmaster of the day, and I could be a speaker because I prepared our speech. Our meeting this afternoon this morning is men's mental health. We're going to speak about men's mental health, since the month of June is regarded as mental health month for men, and we have 2 men here. I have been in meetings for the longest while, and we have 1 man or no men. I don't know where they are drifting away to, so it is on us to ensure that we speak about men's mental health, because we are aware that men do not take their health seriously, and we should always try to encourage them to look at that, be in touch with that, have that at the forefront of their mind, because we need men. We need them around us. We need them to be with us. We just need them. And so while we do the nominations, we would need someone to be the Toastmaster of the day. We'll skip table topics. We'll have our 1 evaluation, or the whole group will evaluate me as a speaker after, and we will continue. So now I hand over the virtual lectern to Toastmaster Tala.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam President. And first of all, I would like to place on record my sincere apologies to Toastmaster Marie for my little outburst earlier. It was totally uncalled for, and I apologize. Secondly, I would like to ask a question before moving on with the nominations. Can you raise your hand if you filled that form for nominations? I just need that information. Who filled that form for nominations?
I don't think anybody did. I know I didn't. I
You,
I did
all
not,
right,
but
you did not.
no, I didn't. I don't think Carrie did, and I'm
Yeah, I see. Actually, what happened was that Rosemary did, and I believe Nadine also filled the form. In the earlier version, I actually committed a mistake. I did not put in a slot for the name. Later, I corrected the form. So based on those nominations, based on the people coming forward, first of all, I know each and every one of you very well, having served in this club for this long. So I have full confidence in each and every one who applied. There's no question of anyone's competence or sincerity. So based on the applications, I will hereby present 3 nominations, and the rest of the 3 nominations are actually required to have the working Toastmasters Club, and the rest can be filled through floor candidates. And again, these nominations are either based on the application or my own judgment. If someone wishes to withdraw their nomination or wishes to run for another position, they are more than welcome to do so during the election proceedings. Further, I would also strongly recommend to Madam President that after the nominations today, maybe we can have a special election meeting in a few days' time, because today is already June the 24th. So maybe we can have one on June the 28th, and have the proper thing done with. So with Madam President's permission, I would like to announce the nominations based on the applications received. For President, the nomination committee nominates Toastmaster Nadine James. Toastmaster Nadine James. For VP Education, the nomination committee nominates Toastmaster Rosemary Sweeney. Toastmaster Rosemary Sweeney. And for the position of secretary, the nomination would like to put forth 2 names. And of course, when the election time comes, the candidates are free to accept particular nomination, or they're free to run from the floor for another nomination. So for the position of secretary, I would like to posit 2 nominations: Toastmaster Alex Delish and Toastmaster DeMarie Shaikin. These are the 2 proposed names for the secretary. And with that, I would like to hand over the podium now to Madam President, Toastmaster Rosemary Sweeney. I would also like to quickly remind everyone that every member is still eligible to run for a position during the election meeting. Any position. As long as you are an eligible member of Leaders Worldwide, you are more than welcome to run from the floor for any particular position. Right now, the nomination committee has just nominated the 3 absolutely essential positions that are needed to run a club, which is the position of president, a vice president, and the position of secretary. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tala. I noticed that, well, I accept the nomination, and we do not have a secretary to give the ballot. So can I assign, who's there? Okay, can I assign Toastmaster Carrie to operate as secretary to cast the ballot?
Actually, that we can assign during the election meeting,
Okay.
whenever we have. Right now, no such assignment is necessary. And it's entirely up to you when we have that election.
So I thought we were going to do one thing now. Have the nomination and have the election. That's why I was asking.
Sorry, can you come again?
I was saying I thought we were going to have the election meeting now. Seeing
All right. What we can do is, if
nomination.
you should ask for approval of the members, and given the paucity of time here, and the fact that we are fast approaching June 30th, if the members approve, we can have the election proceedings within this meeting.
Okay, but just no. Another thing is, how many members do we have? I think we have 16 members.
Yes. And
And we
right
do not
now,
have a quorum.
we do not have quorum. Yeah. So again, what I would request to you, Madam President, is that maybe plan a short meeting in 3 or 4 days' time.
Okay,
And,
I will send that
yeah.
around. No.
And that will make things proper.
Okay, but before we go on, Toastmaster DeMarie, you were saying that she's not interested in any position at this time because of whatever she has planned. She will not be interested. So going
That's all right.
forward.
And when the election time comes, Madam President, a candidate is free to accept or decline their nomination. So it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, so well, seeing all of us who are here, welcome, Curtis, to our meeting. What I would have to ask us what day would be best for us, because it would be better if we have a day that is more suitable. So when you check your meetings for this month and the balance of this month, we have 6 more days. Can you put a suggested time in the chat for me to send out to everyone else? Because for us to have our nomination, for us to have our election, we must have at least 50% of our members present.
Yes.
And I would have to look at what happens when we call our first meeting and 50% is not present. What happens at the next meeting? Because normally you call the meeting, if 50% is not present, you call a second meeting, and whoever attends that second meeting makes up the quorum. I don't know what happens in Toastmasters. I would have to find out.
Ordinarily, Madam President, yes, a quorum of 50% is required. And you can decide the time slot. Whichever time slot has the more attendance, we can go for that. And I don't see a reason, because for the important matter of electing next year's leadership, I believe that members will turn up. But I would like, Madam President, to ask you, to request you to seek 2 clarifications if you can. The first is what happens if we don't have enough quorum in the election meeting? Can we defer it to after July 1st? Number 1. Yes, we will lose a valuable DCP point, but besides that, what are the consequences? And secondly, whether the nomination committee member can run from the floor. As far as I know, that is not possible. But in the eventuality that any of positions remain vacant, perhaps that should also be a possibility if it is allowed within the rules.
Well, I have seen it happen, but I will have, as I said, I'll have to confirm.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have seen it happen in more than one meeting. I will have to confirm. Okay, so who will be our Toastmaster of the meeting today? We need a Toastmaster of the meeting and a timer at least.
I can be the timer.
Okay then. Toastmaster Alex, I saw your camera come on, can you be our Toastmaster of the meeting?
Yeah, no problem. So welcome everybody. Today we are going to have after our business, we're going to have Rosemary speak, and then the evaluations are going to be kind of a group evaluation. And I just want to welcome Curtis. I'm believing you're a guest. You could turn your camera on and tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today.
This is a
Going once, going twice.
Curtis,
Oh,
are you there? Curtis was our member of leaders.
okay. Well, anyway, we've got our timer, who is Tala, and we've got our evaluators that are everybody, I guess, today. And there's not going to be any table topics, so it's a little bit of a streamlined thing. So, Rosemary, I don't have because it's men's health focused. What could you please introduce your speech? Because I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, I don't. And what
Okay.
pathway, if it is a pathway.
Don't be sorry. It's effective coaching, and it's level 1, presenting a speech. And the speech could be any type of speech. That's
Okay, so
how you're going
what's
to.
the type? What's your title of your speech?
Men, be mindful.
Okay, so Rosemary Sweeney, men be mindful. Men
It's
be
5
mindful.
to 7 minutes.
5 to 7. Yeah, thank you.
5 to 7 minutes. It's all yours, my dear.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Men's mental health awareness has been celebrated since 1994. And this is because we want men to be aware that they are supposed to take care of their mental health. Not taking care of your mental health can lead to a number of negatives on you as an individual. And we are aware also that men are very reluctant on a whole to take care of themselves. They take care of everyone else and leave themselves behind. But in June, we want them to know that we care about them and we need them to take care of their mental health. When your mental health is left unchecked, a host of illnesses can come upon you, 3 of which can be depression, decrease in your physical health, and the loss of productivity. According to the World Wide Web, men are 60% more likely to suffer from depression. And depression is not something far-fetched. It happens out of the clear blue sky, whether you take care of your health or whether you're not. But we want you to be mindful because they're more likely to become depressed. Yesterday, I was at a Toastmasters meeting and a member spoke of being depressed. He said for over 20 years, he never got a bout of depression. And last year, about August, he just became depressed. And it lasted until March. He loved walking his dog. He did not feel like doing that. He loved taking his 6-year-old daughter to school. He did not feel like doing that. He was just depressed. He was way up in his district, on his district executive. He left that. He was a member of 4 clubs. He was not feeling like going to meeting. And he said there is nothing he could say caused that depression. He was just depressed. And in March of this year, he felt different. He don't know if it was the wind he was feeling on his face, if it was the sunshine he had gone out that day, but everything started coming back. He started seeing colors and he started feeling alive and not feeling like it is best he just left this world. And I said, whoa, here is it. I am trying to organize a speech on men's mental health, and my Toastmaster is giving me all that information. When you do not ensure that you take that, you put that up front, that depression can come upon you suddenly without expectation, and it can last. It was August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months of a bout of depression. But thankfully now he is okay. He feels all right. He comes to meeting, he's back again, and you can see the difference in him. Also, when you do not take care of your mental health, a whole set of physical illness comes upon you. You feel pain for no apparent reason. And this I know because I have a friend, a young lady, and she knows she's mentally challenged, but she doesn't like to think that she is. And so sometimes she quits taking her medication. And on my walk last month, I saw her. She was going to the sea. I said, oh, it's nice I'm seeing you this morning. And she said, yes, my body is just hurting me. And then I asked her, when last did you go, doctor? Oh, I have not been to the doctor. I think a sea bath would help me. Only to find 3 days later, someone called me to tell me that she was admitted at the psychiatric unit of the hospital. This could happen to a man also. You will feel pain if you do not take care of that small but important part of our body, our mental health. And as I said, men are prone to get depressed. Men do not take care of their health, more so that important factor, their mental health. Also, when you do not take care of your mental health, you lose productivity. Imagine you being sick for 8 months. Your workplace might just ask you to stay home. Can you afford to do that? When it's simple as ensuring that your mental health is okay, your mental health is great, your mental health is intact. When you take care of your mental health, it relieves you from that depression you might feel, which you cannot overcome in a hurry. Because as my Toastmaster said, he did not know when it would go away. He just wanted to be dead. And then one day, it just went away. He don't know if it was the breeze on his face or the sunshine over his head, but it went away. Also, when you do not take care of your mental health, you get physically ill without knowing what is wrong. You are physically in, you are in pain. All these leads to low productivity. So I call on you men, take care of your mental health. And to the ladies here, you are in love with a man, you're a friend to a man, you know a man, encourage him to take care of his mental health. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
That was wonderful. Thank you for that important stuff. If we could get 1 minute of silence for people to gather their thoughts, and then we'll do some evaluations.
Okay.
Assuming the 1 minute is up. That being said, we're gonna kind of go off the cuff a little bit. And what we're going to do is, Toastmaster Rosemary, what we'll do is we'll kind of do a round robin with a bunch of different people that are looking to do evaluations. Now, for those of you that are watching this on replay, the evaluation is for the help the Toastmaster understand what to do, give constructive feedback, so it's in a safe environment. So, Cassandra, do you feel like you have a evaluation? I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
Oh, not a problem. Sure, I have an evaluation
Okay.
for President Rosemary.
I'll just let you both.
President Rosemary, what a wonderful story. I thought that you were thorough. I thought you gave a beginning, a middle, an end. I thought you were really creative in how your example was woven into the story about your examples of your people in your story. You showed how to give resolution as far as examples of how to combat depression. You gave examples like the walks that your person walked on his on for example when he got depressed he walked. The other one, the reading, or if you swim, different things that you can do to combat your depression. So those are some of the things. So I really appreciate how people can, as a woman, that you can look out for your husband or your brother or whoever that man is in your life, because men do have pressures in life and they do keep quiet about it. So as a woman, you do have to look out for those signs. So what a wonderful story to bring out for this month. Thank you. I appreciate your story. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right. Just looking for any other volunteers that are looking to do an evaluation. I think Cassandra did an excellent job of kind of encompassing everything today. But that being said, focusing on men's health is something that people just don't think about a lot. And I think by you bringing it in the forefront, especially this month, it really makes us pause and think about taking stock of the men in our lives, whoever they are. And we should always be checking on others, our friends and family, whether men, women, or whatever. But like Cassandra said, men have a tendency to hold stuff in a lot more. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that. That being said, how did we do on time for her speech, Tala?
Actually, I employed a video background that automatically changes the colors according to the 5, 6, 7 minutes. So I don't know the precise time because it doesn't have a time counter. But Toastmaster Rosemary was well within time because she finished right at the time. The 6-minute mark was reached. So it must be 6 minutes and some seconds.
Right. Thank you. Now that we've kind of done the what we do, which is doing speeches, I know we had our business meeting before, and I know President Sweeney is going to be calling for a voting meeting this week, I'm assuming, just because it needs to be done by the end of the week. I really encourage people to kind of figure out what we're going to do. I think the club is at a juncture that we really have to kind of think about and figure out what this club wants to do. I'm not trying to campaign for anything. I'm just saying it is a challenging time, and we have a lot of members on the books, and we need to kind of reach out and find out if people want to do roles. And if they don't want to do roles, then we're going to have to figure out other options here. I know Tala has been tirelessly trying to put a slate together, and I know that's never easy in any group. So thank you for doing that, because it's hard. It's a thankless job making those phone calls or emails or whatever else. But I just encourage people to, if we're going to make a decision, we make a decision. So I'm going to pass it back to our president to close it out.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Tala, I thought you were going to evaluate me. Give me some feedback.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rosemary. Yeah, first of all, I think what I noticed in your speech, first of all, was the pacing. You had a poetic flow to whatever you said. Everything flowed very easily, very naturally, and without us even noticing, we were glued to every word that you said. So I believe the recall value of this speech would be very high among the audience, because everybody would remember what you said. And that's what makes it very easy to evaluate. I just think that you presented a very sympathetic and relevant postulate regarding men's health. And yes, you're very right that we are actually very ignorant about our health, both mental and physical. Men are not known for taking care of their health, right? So, and that's true the world over. But what we don't realize is that we are not doing a disservice just to ourselves, but to everyone who loves us. And that's the one thing that struck out at me. You, being a woman, calling out for men to take care of their health, that really was a universal message of empathy. And if I were to point out an improvement area, it would be just that perhaps it needed a little more vocal variety and voice modulation towards the end of the speech to further punctuate your conclusions and to emphasize your call to action. That's pretty much it. Overall project well done, well delivered. Your ease of delivery and your way with words is enviable. You're always a joy to listen to. Just a little more vocal variety would have been just the ticket. So over to you, Manager.
Thank you. Curtis, I see that your mic is there now. Can you speak? I saw his mic.
Yes. He put in the chat that he's busy at work. Sorry for that. That was easy. That's what he put into the chat.
Okay, well, thank you, Curtis. Thank you for being with us.
So I am where I can speak.
You can speak now. Okay, then.
Yes. So I did hear your speech, and it sounded like a conversation at the kitchen table, which I always love. You're just talking to someone and giving them the benefit of your wisdom, your concern, and your expertise. And that is what you did. The thing that I particularly liked is that it was a true story. Based on how you told it, it was a true story. And when we can talk about how the topic that's being discussed has affected a real live living individual, and then you tell us how that thing came out, how it worked itself out, that was great. He somehow came out of the depression. He didn't know what caused it, and he didn't know what got him out of it. I thought that was really phenomenal, because I know from being in mental health that a lot of times there are no pinpointed causes as to why things happen the way they do. Now, from a physiological standpoint, we understand that the serotonin, the dopamine, or the epinephrine in your body, those levels of chemicals have probably dropped for some reason, because a lot of times all the patient needs is a medication that will help to enhance those hormones within the body. But they don't know that. It just feels like a mood has changed. They feel down, depressed, and out. And that can be part of the reason. But the other thing that I liked was you talked about someone else who had made a decision themselves. Oh, I'm no longer mentally ill. I'm not taking that pill. I feel better. So often that's what happens when a person has a mental illness. They decide, I don't need to take the medicine anymore. And at just that moment, something horrific can happen or take place. If you know someone that is on medication, please encourage them to take the medication. I know that the patients say that the medicine makes them feel strange or funny. This is what I got all the time at the hospital. And I actually would question them to try and find out, what are you talking about? How do you feel strange? But for the patient that has a mental illness, they like to feel erratic and out of control because that's how they normally operate. And when they take medication, it calms them down. And for them, that's a strange feeling. So everything that you said definitely resonated with me because of my experience and working in mental health. Men are some of the most difficult creatures besides mental health professionals as well to talk to and get them to take care of themselves. They say that the nurses and doctors make the worst patients. That is true. Men also make not so good patients. But when they have a woman in their life, be it their husband, their mother, their sister, their cousin, we know to check on these men and let them know that we care about them. And I rest my mic.
Thank you for your feedback, Toastmaster DeMarie. And at this time, I will call our meeting to a close.